Hello, gorgeous beauties. So lately I've been watching a lot of relational content. It's like Fresh and Fit, Kevin Samuels, Will Tomasi, and all that stuff. And I find this really amazing content. All this content has brought me to a really interesting realization. And it's brought me to other realizations, but I want to start with this one. Uh, when you're about to get into a relationship with someone, even though you don't know them yet, and it's maybe a first date, and it might be a first and a last date, you have to pursue these dates with the intention of it being a two generational project, which is to say, if you do pair bond with the person, you find them interesting and they find you interesting and you both like each other, you have to try and see yourself two generations down with the person. So, two generations is about 50 to 60 years. Now, why do you have to see yourself two generations down with this person? Well, it's very simple. One of the main objectives of getting into a relationship, a long-term relationship, is to have kids and hopefully to have grandkids. Now, unfortunately, somewhere between year and a half, 2 years of being in a relationship, the the sexual excitement wears off. And you have to know this off the get-go. That's why you have to see your relationship really two generations down. Because you want to see your kids with this person, which is one generation, and then hopefully you want to see yourself having your grandkids with this person, which makes it generation number two. Now, both these two things happening where you create a nuclear family and your kids create a nuclear family and no one got divorced or separated in the process is a finger cross. So there's no guarantees that any of this is going to play out like I'm saying it's going to play out. But the goal is to attempt being in a relationship and seeing yourself two generations down with this person. Now, if you're not primed or your mindset is that you're going to get into this relationship with someone and it's going to last 6 months or it's going to last 2 years, you've already failed. Like maybe you'll get your sexual rocks off, which good or bad, I don't know. But if you accidentally get her pregnant, if stuff happens along the way, you've actually wasted 2 years. Now, if you're one of those red pillars that you're just having sports sex, then whatever, that's on you. As long as the girl's consensual and you're consensual and you're both having sports sex with each other, it's like whatever. But if the relationship starts lasting 6 months, a year and a half, 2 years, and somewhere in back of your mind's like, I'm going to leave this person any minute now, I'm going to leave this person any minute now. Well, you should think of that sooner than later because a year becomes 2 years, 2 years becomes 3 years, and the next thing you know is you have a kid, and now you still want to leave the person, and now your kid's going to be without a parent, and the nuclear family setting is broken apart, which will make the rest of your life much more complicated because you have to like drive around and run around from place to place. You have to reallocate your money differently. And most importantly, you've sabotaged the potential of having a tight knit nuclear family. Your goal is really to see your family structure and your relationship two generations in, which is to say, you have a kid, you try and raise it as best you could, showing them a positive relationship between male and female in the household. They possibly get married, and because of your positive display, they also kind of like pass the torch down and try and keep their family very tight knit. And then you can help them take care of your grandkids, which are their kids, and there you have two generations in. Now, I'm describing a very idealistic and kind of perfect scenario, if you will, but it's the goal, really. If you're with a person and in the back of your mind, it's like, oh, 6 months in, you're already fed up, and it's like, okay, I'm going to leave them any day now, and when I leave them, I'm going to take half their shit, and when I leave them, I'm going to have sex with their friend, or whatever it is that goes to our mind when we're like, we're not into a person anymore. If you're going into this kind of mentality, you have failed yourself and potentially you have failed your family from the very, very get-go. So I hope this doesn't offend anybody because I'm not saying that if you don't belong to a nuclear family, then that's it, your life is over. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that the ideal is to create a nuclear family for you and show as an example to create a nuclear family for your kids. And this will create a tight-knit, nuclear, multi-generational family. Hopefully, we're crossing our fingers. Now, If this doesn't happen, then you readjust and you work things as best as possible. But the goal here is to go in there primed with a mindset when you're dating a person and when you're especially marrying a person that you're really going to see it 50 to 60 years down the road. That's it for today. Namaste.